Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey into the realms of the supernatural and the unknown. Tonight, we bring you a tale that defies the boundaries of the living and the spectral, a story that delves deep into the shadows of legend and lore. I'm your host, Allara, and I invite you to join me as we unravel the chilling saga of the haunting of reflections. Prepare to be captivated, enthralled, and perhaps even haunted by the echoes of a world that exists beyond the boundaries of reality. So, gather your courage, dim the lights, and let's embark on a journey that will send shivers down your spine and leave you questioning the very nature of existence. The Haunting of Reflections. Part 1. In the quiet town of Willowbrook, nestled between dense woods and forgotten fields, a sinister legend cast its long shadow. The tale of Bloody Mary, a vengeful spirit said to be summoned by those brave or foolish enough to chant her name 3 times before a mirror, spread like wildfire among the youth. The story began with Mary Hawthorne, a young woman who had once lived in Willowbrook. She was known for her radiant beauty and enchanting allure, which both captivated and instilled jealousy among the townsfolk. Her life was a mix of adoration and animosity until one fateful day when tragedy struck. Mary's beauty drew the eye of a local nobleman, Lord Holloway. Obsessed with her, he pursued her relentlessly, unaware that her heart belonged to another. When she rejected his advances, his rage knew no bounds. In a fit of violent fury, he ordered her arrest, falsely accusing her of witchcraft. Bound by the village superstitions, the townspeople turned against her. They accused her of consorting with dark forces and condemned her to the gallows. As she stood on the precipice of death, betrayed and forsaken, she uttered a curse against the town that had once been her home. With her last breath, Mary vowed to return and exact revenge upon the descendants of those who had condemned her. Legend has it that her spirit, twisted by anger and injustice, was trapped between the world of the living and the dead, lurking in the mirrors of Willowbrook, waiting for a chance to fulfill her promise. The story of Bloody Mary took hold, captivating the young and daring them to summon her spirit from the depths of the mirror world. Brave souls gathered in candlelit bathrooms, breaths held, and voices shaky as they chanted her name. They hoped to catch a glimpse of her bloodied visage, a sign that the legend was true. Among the skeptics was a curious teenager named Sarah. One night, she stood before her bathroom mirror, the glow of her cell phone casting eerie shadows. Hesitating, she whispered, "Bloody Mary," for the 3rd time. At first, nothing happened, and her heart raced with equal parts fear and anticipation. Just as Sarah was about to dismiss the legend as a childish tale, a chilling gust of wind extinguished the candlelight. The room plunged into darkness, and an unnerving silence enveloped her. Trembling, she turned to leave, but the mirror's surface rippled as if disturbed by an unseen presence. Suddenly, a pale figure emerged from within the mirror, her face contorted with rage. Blood dripped from her ghostly visage, and her eyes burned with a malevolent fire. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest, her breath caught in her throat as the figure slowly extended a bloodied hand toward her. And so, the tale of Bloody Mary began to unfold, with the boundary between reality and legend blurring. As Sarah's encounter took a chilling turn, the ancient curse of Mary Hawthorne clawed its way back into the lives of the unsuspecting townspeople. But what horrors awaited them beyond that cursed mirror? The answers lay shrouded in darkness, waiting to be unveiled. To be continued. Now my lovelies, this story is about to unfold. I have 3 more parts to the story, so stay for part 2. Remember to subscribe and switch on your notifications so that you may come back for part 3 and 4. Let's continue. Part 2. Sarah's heart raced as the ghostly figure of Bloody Mary emerged from the mirror, her bloodied hand reaching out with an eerie slowness. Panic surged through Sarah's veins, but she was rooted to the spot, paralyzed by a mix of fear and morbid fascination. The room seemed to close in on her as Mary's eyes bored into her soul, and the air turned frigid, as though death itself had entered. Sarah's trembling fingers fumbled to switch on the lights, but the darkness held its grip, as if protecting the malevolent entity that had crossed over from the mirror realm. With a guttural whisper, Mary's voice echoed in the air, sending shivers down Sarah's spine. "You have summoned me," she hissed, her voice a distorted symphony of anger and pain. Sarah's thoughts raced, her mind a whirlwind of disbelief and terror, but she managed to find her voice. "I didn't mean to summon you," Sarah stammered, her words a desperate plea. But Mary's hollow laughter pierced the silence, a haunting sound that seemed to resonate from the depths of the beyond. "Intent matters little, child," Mary sneered, her words cutting through the air like icy daggers. "You have invoked my name, and now you shall bear witness to my torment." Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as Mary's form began to blur, her spectral figure becoming an indistinct smudge. The walls seemed to close in further, the room itself contorting in response to Mary's presence. Sarah's vision wavered, and she felt a force pulling at her, dragging her closer to the mirror's surface. Just as Sarah thought she would be consumed by the supernatural maelstrom, a sudden knock on the bathroom door shattered the tension. The spell seemed to break, and the room returned to its mundane appearance. The lights flickered to life, and Mary's presence retreated back into the mirror. Sarah gasped for breath, her chest heaving as she stumbled backward, her eyes wide with disbelief. The door creaked open, revealing her concerned friend, Emily, standing on the threshold. "Sarah, are you okay?" Emily asked, her brow furrowed with worry. Sarah struggled to find her words, her mind a whirlwind of the otherworldly encounter she had just witnessed. "It was her," Sarah finally managed to whisper, her voice trembling. "Bloody Mary was here." Emily's expression shifted from concern to skepticism. "Come on, Sarah. You don't really believe in that stuff, do you?" Sarah's eyes remained fixed on the mirror, her fear lingering like a shadow. She knew what she had seen, the truth of the legend now etched into her mind. But how could she convince anyone else, when the boundaries between reality and the supernatural had blurred so profoundly? As the room returned to its ordinary state, the tension ebbed, leaving only questions in its wake. What had Mary meant by bearing witness to her torment? And what horrors awaited beyond the mirror's surface? The lines between the known and the unknown had become irrevocably blurred, and Sarah's life would never be the same again. To be continued. My lovelies, I am tired, for the tomes take much of my life essence to read and see. Come back for part 3 when I have rested. Subscribe to HorrorWise and put on the notifications so that I may inform you whenever I have found a new tome or the rest of my haunting stories. See you again. Mahaha.